speech is called Good Growth, Bad Growth. Please welcome Stefania.
Gotta move some furniture before you can start a speech. If you go to the airport and you don't care where you're going, any airplane will get you there. When you embark on your company's future, if you don't know where you want to end up, any plant will be fine. 2009 was a wake-up call. All growth is not the same. Mick had a company that was a custom manufacturer of machining parts. His revenue dropped in 1 year from $10 million to $5 million. He got a little lazy and he just accepted the revenue that came in. Tina, in the same year, had her company's revenue in her water processing plant actually increase from $9.5 million in revenue to $10.5 million. And at the same time, she increased her profitability to 10%. Good growth is different from bad growth. Good growth is passion-driven growth. To tell if you're pursuing good growth or bad growth, you better ask yourself 3 questions. First, is your future the one that your passion is dictating? 2, what does a passionate relationship with customers look like? 3, are you financing your passion by attracting the passion of others? Let's take a look at those 3 questions. The first one, is your future the one that you are passionate about pursuing? I guess you'd have to start out thinking about what's your passion and getting clear about that. The best way to do that is to pretend you won the lottery. All the money you need, it's yours. So what would your company look like 10 years in the future? Now, I don't want you to get confused about passion-driven growth and strategic planning. They're different. Strategic planning is all about how you're going to execute getting someplace. Passion-driven growth is about where you want to go. You might be thinking, 10 years is really far away. Well, just a moment. 10 years is the kind of way that you can think about your future without dragging a whole lot of baggage from the present. You see, like all business builders, we all have assumptions about today. And to be able to get out of that and really get clear on our passion, we have to get beyond our current assumptions. The fact of the matter is, it's sort of like what you do under normal circumstances. As an example, if you're going to build a house, you have to decide what kind of house you want to build. Are you building a single-family flat? Well, that's like doing a family business. You have to decide about that before you start construction. Or are you building a multi-family house, an apartment building? Well, that's like a regional business. Or are you building a skyscraper? It's like a global business. You don't just make those decisions, you plan ahead. And that's why you start with 10 years out in the future. But you don't leave it out there. You take the promise of that future and bring it into the present. And how do you do it? You start with the present. You start with the future. Think. And you look at that 10-year number and you say, okay, where do I have to be in 5 years in order to get to that 10-year spot? And you calculate your 5 years, both revenue and EBIT. And then you go from that 5-year period and come more into the present and say, where do I have to be in 3 years? And again, you figure out your revenue and your EBIT. Now, it's not about how big your business is. Tammy's business had the ambition of being a $100 million business. And Nick's business, he had the objective of being $25 million. But both of them, the distinction we're making is it's got to be passion driven. Okay, so that's the first question. The second question is, what does a passionate relationship look like with your customers? When you start out, transaction, sale is great. But that's no place to stop. The question at hand is, what's the lifetime value of your client? And I was sharing this question with Mick, and Mick noticed he had never thought about what the lifetime value of his client might be. He knew the average sale per client, $300,000 for his manufacturing component parts. But what he didn't ever think about was what was the annuity possibility. You see, when you have a passion-driven relationship with your customer, it's not just about the sale. That's the end. The sale becomes the beginning of an annuity of cash. But only if you can find that passion. So working together with Nick, we realized that even though he created parts which were high-tech, high-pressure components, his real passion was to help his clients solve green solutions to lower their cost of production and reduce their waste. In that process, Nick began to realize it was his responsibility to share in a passionate relationship with his customers through a cycle which he called pain, safety, and desire. Pain was the place where his clients would come to him first. That was the natural way the relationship would start. And he would solve that problem, addressing that pain. And that's where he got his $300,000 of average price. But that opened it up to the possibility of safety. Nick had the possibility of offering another $200,000 of existing products that he already had, just by offering them. The real key was realizing he could take it to another level. Desire. Desire was really all about applying his entrepreneurial genius, his passion about creating solutions to his customers. You see, when you start solving the problems at the desire level with your customers, the annuity is absolutely unlimited. Your client relationships can be extraordinary. Nick came up with a specific idea, driven by his passion, of outsourcing some of his customers' own needs to recycle some of their waste products and do it in a way that would lower their obligations and liability, safety for their own managers and their own staff. Just based on that one addition, all of a sudden his annuity from a lifetime relationship with his customer went up to $750,000. You see, passion-driven relationships with customers aren't the end of a relationship with a sale. It's actually the beginning of an escalating revenue stream. That brings us to the third question. And that question is, are you using your passion to attract the passion of others? Tina didn't try to finance her $100 million growth strategy with the bank. The bank can only see the past. Collateral is what they need. And a lot of funding sources are like that. The bank was very hesitant with the idea that Tina would actually be investing in infrastructure ahead of her revenue, hiring professional staff, investing in R&D. So she didn't go there. Instead, she reached out to other sources in her ecosystem who shared her passion and was willing to give her credit for her future today because they could see the benefits of what she was doing. As a result, Tina got the cash she needed very inexpensively. When you finance your future, your passion-driven future, by attracting the passion of others, you end up with really cheap money. So remember these three questions when you're thinking about good growth, or bad growth? The future, is it your passion?